I am super excited to share this new app that I really think is gonna revolutionize. I don't even mind saying that word. I think it's gonna revolutionize the way that student athletes and coaches navigate challenges. Not only navigate challenges, but also are inspired to do more. And I know that's a strong claim, but I really do believe this is a tool that can help people be there. It's called the Coach Edge app from Season Builder. So let's jump right in. So let's say you're going to log in. Everyone has a login and password. And as we log in, the very first page it's going to take you to is a chat, but it's not any old chat. Season Builder is a nonprofit that coaches and mentors college students and young adults, including coaches. And so it's really a life coaching app. For you. You may have a lot of different apps that help you watch film or schedule practices or even build practices or do a lot of different things, but there may not be an app on your phone that could be as powerful for your game and for your program as Coach Edge. So let's jump right in. I'm logged in as an athlete. So this is the screen that the athlete will see. And right off the top, you'll see here's some predefined prompts. So, there's a thing called a blank canvas syndrome. When you're just looking at a blank canvas, it's hard to come up with a question or draw a picture. But if you're prompted with some very common things that athletes go through, then it makes it easier to start the conversation. And that's the other thing about this app, that it's not just a one and done. It's just not just a Google where you go get an answer. It actually is a conversation that you can continue to dig in to issues. So you can select one of these, or you could just type in a question. Maybe an athlete is sitting there knowing they've got to have a conversation with their coach tomorrow, and they say, how do I have a productive, almost, but hard conversation with my coach? And they could just hit enter and it would give the answer. But here's another one for athletes that I really like. Give me 10 common insecurities athletes have that may be keeping me from playing my best. I think that's on the mind of a lot of athletes. So I'm just going to click that. And boom, there are the answers. And they're really, really, really good. Let's just look at the top. Give me 10 common insecurities athletes may have about the keeping. And then the key about this too is it's very engaging. The conversation, it uses analogies. It uses a little humor. It really talks the language that makes sense and that is the language that athletes and coaches speak. So just look at the answer that it gave. Consistently doubting myself. Oh my goodness, yeah. Fear of failure. Comparing myself to others. Self-worth tied to performance, lack of motivation. It's almost like it's reading my mind, not just the question. So you can see that the athlete can start to ask these questions and start to see these things that they really identify with. And then you'll always see at the very bottom, there's always a question that prompts you to dig deeper. In this case, what's one insecurity from this list you resonate with most, and what step could you take today towards overcoming it? So then you could start to saying, fear of failure maybe. And you could hit enter and just continue that conversation. So again, this is so powerful. It's limitless. It really is limitless. And also let me address one question too, is that it does not address controversial statements. You can feel free to how do you feel? Are you a Republican or a Democrat or other controversial, political, culturally divisive questions? It does not respond to that. It always focuses back on personal growth and development. So that's another thing from a safety perspective that we've built into the app, that it just doesn't get into those controversial conversations. So that's about athletes. So I'm going to log out and I'm going to log in as a coach. I am a coach. You'll see that. So now when the chat comes up, it's not athlete related things, it's coach related things. How do I manage my coaching and personal responsibilities in a healthy way? Suggest 4 activities we can do as a coaching staff to build our relationship. How can I lead coaches and athletes through questions rather than commands, right? These, again, just conversation starters, but you can ask it anything you want. So in the previous screen, we clicked on one of the things. So this time, let's type in a question. How do I maintain my mental health when I am supposed to be the strong leader for everyone else? Great question, isn't it? Well, let's ask Coach Edge and get his perspective. And there we go. So let's scroll up and see what Coach Edge had to say. That's another good point. He a lot of times wants to know, okay, what sport do you coach in and at what level? So he can tailor the advice. So you could say if you're a college basketball coach, or maybe you're a high school football coach, or whatever you are, a women's golf coach, you can tell it that, and it will tailor its responses to your sport and your level. But it just says, jumping into your question, it's kind of like trying to keep a plane flying smooth while you're also patching up the engine in mid-flight, right? Just those are just some ways, some interesting little analogy and engaging conversation. Team U. It's just like having an assistant coach, a physio, and maybe a nutritionist for your team. Build a support team for yourself, right? The game tape for your mind, how you talk to yourself, have regular check-ins with yourself. What are your drills? What can you practice gratefulness and other types of things, gratitude. So again, it just starts to give you ideas, brainstorms, just perspectives. So, because so many times we feel we can just get stuck because we just don't have perspective. And so that's what this can ask. And again, it always ends with a question. So how are you currently managing stress and pressure, both on and off the field? And you can start to have the conversation and continue to delve in and get ideas and perspectives to help you. So that is the chat. It really is limitless, and I really, you have the ability to ask it things and provide perspectives and ideas and get brainstorming on activities and ways to engage that a Google search is just not going to provide you. But that's not it, right? Because we don't always want to type in and hear from a computer. Like, we really want to get a live person's perspective. So with the Coach Edge app, you also get the ability to schedule a live call. And this is for athletes and for coaches. And so here, this is connected directly to my calendar. So you want to schedule on the 21st at 10 a.m. a call with me, schedule event. And literally that schedules an event on my calendar that we can have a Zoom call. And we can even communicate and even have a FaceTime or whatever may be convenient. So I just wanted to let you know that you do have access to a live person. Now, let's say that you see this button here to text. So maybe it's in the moment and you really want to just get a perspective from a live person, from me. You can just hit this text and it will open up the texting app on your phone and you can type a text to me. So again, you have the ability to text. There's another button down here that says consider. And these are just wise perspectives. I have ideas and thoughts and perspectives of my own that I like to share with our community. And that's what these are. And so this is one that I put in a couple of days ago, just about you have to be sold on what you're doing yourself before you try to sell somebody else. Now, another down here under the more button is a lot of cool things here. Just give you a little inspiring reminder, a little principle of the day: encourage rather than complain, and that changes every day. The Season Builder button. So Season Builder is a 13-week personal growth program that's offered to coaches and student athletes as well. You could watch a video from me about an introduction. What's the Season Builder program all about? Read a little bit about it. And then if you're interested, you can literally click the button and apply. And that's a form that you would fill out that gets sent to us, and then we would reach out to you about your possibility of going through that program. And then, you want to see some testimonies. You want to hear from different coaches, different players that have gone through this intensive personal growth program. You can click Stories of Change, and then you'll see testimonials from players and coaches. The last little thing I want to mention is if you are a faith-based person, then you have one more capability. I'll show you how to turn this on. Under your profile, you have a box that says check here to include faith-based perspectives. Whenever that box is checked, and in this case it is, you're going to see a new icon up here in the left. Looks like a little Bible. If you click it, doesn't look like much changed, but it's another chat, but now it's all based on faith. So you'll see the questions changed. How do I better align with my Christian identity? How can I be a better Christian example for my team? You can even ask it, what Bible verses mean. Like I got one, and what does Ephesians 2:10 mean down here, and how does it apply to me? Or whatever question that you have, you can ask it in this and get a faith-based perspective, whereas the original screens you may go to will give you solid, strong, value-based responses. These are specifically faith-based. I'm just so thankful that you took a look at this demo, that you may consider it. What I would say, if you are watching this video and it is interesting to you, there's a button at the top that says Get Access, and that'll send us information about you. We'll reach out and talk to you about how you and your team can be a part of the Season Builder family and be equipped and inspired by Coach Edge.